repugnant. It just one of those things that I realize she's a comedian and all that, but way over the line. And if any other human being had been posed in the same way by anybody else, they would have suffered the same consequences.
All right, one of the big issues that the president is facing is whether or not to pull out of the Paris Climate Accord. He said it's going to happen soon, and we don't know, but we're hearing from some advisors that he probably will pull out. What do you think, and what does that mean? Right
now, there is a pitched battle in the White House as to whether you pull out or stay in. And you've got people like Rex Tillerson and others saying, stay in and we'll negotiate from within. Don't pull out because then you leave the table. And then you have other people in the administration who say, that is what you told your base you were going to do. You got to do it now. So there is a real battle going on. And we know from the past with Trump that he sometimes will pull back from a decision that he's announced in one direction and go in a different direction.
But he often waits until the very last minute to make a decision.
Well, you know, all this stuff, Ken, with the White House press corps and the spokespeople for the White House, kind of never knowing what they're going to be talking about that day or even that minute. That's because this president doesn't contemplate things the same way other presidents have.
California Governor Jerry Brown and other nations around the world say they're pressing ahead with climate change, even if Washington is not. So in practical terms, the president pulling out of the accord, what does that mean worldwide? There's only Syria, Nicaragua, and then potentially the United States that would not be part of this deal.
Well, it would mean that the United States cedes a leadership role to some other country. And can you imagine maybe the largest greenhouse gas producer in the world, China, filling that vacuum? That's not what we want. I mean, we want to be in a leadership role there. I think for the problems with the agreement from the president's perspective, I think that can better be solved by staying at the table and working on things that he does not think are fair for certain countries, including the United States.
It sounds like the White House has settled on a strategy on how to deal with the Russia investigation and questions surrounding that by pointing to the president's personal attorney and saying, you have to talk to him to find out what's going on with this investigation, and that person isn't saying anything. Then you have Jared Kushner, who's now in the center of this investigation. He's not saying anything. So this drip, drip, drip apparently is going to continue from sources inside the administration and from the Justice Department and the FBI and the committees that are investigating, but we're not going to hear from the president himself.
I don't think so. I think they've taken the decision in the White House to either allow the drip, 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 as you call it, or to watch the official investigations go forward. However, I mean, in fairness to the situation, at some point, somebody has to start bringing real evidence out that suggests something. Everything else right now is innuendo and maybe a back channel. Well, back channels have been going on forever in administrations. But was there wrongdoing? And they've got to get to that fairly quickly.
But back channels before you're actually in the administration while you're a private citizen?
Well, I mean, when administrations come on and they know they've been elected, yes, people have reached out, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you very much,
Very welcome.
as always.